Yes people, and welcome back to another video on the Bribery YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. I'm your host with the most, the Bridge T58, here to give you the latest Chelsea transfer news. Here we go. Let's start with some of the major breaking news, which is that Reece James is looking set to come back for the Arsenal game, which is in not this week but the week after, so in 2 weeks essentially, in a fortnight. So that's obviously good news and everything, but for me personally, do I want to risk him against Arsenal, which is like the final game? Then you've got like a whole, I think, 2 weeks afterwards with no Premier League because of the international break. Not really. I would just much rather play Gusto, in my opinion. I would much rather, we rest Reece James, make sure he's ultra fit, and that he's ready for that Brentford game, which is after the Arsenal game, in my opinion. And then if you want to play him there, play him. But if Gusto's in good form, and which he has been, to be honest, in the last few games, then let's just keep Gusto there, in my opinion. I want to make sure that that right back position is as competitive as possible to really push Reece here, to make sure that he's as healthy as possible and to be in the best condition as possible, in my personal opinion. So hey ho, and also, to be honest here, we don't even know if he's even going to be able to play the Arsenal game or even the Brentford game, because he may even have a match ban, which means that even if he comes back to full fitness, he will have to sit out at least one game. Maybe it might be possible that he might have to sit out one game, he may have to sit out 2 games. So there's a whole reality of the situation where he may not even play against Arsenal, maybe not even Brentford. I don't know why, Reece James was talking, heavy to the referee, mate. Just chill out, man. You're not even playing the game. Like, we don't need that nonsense right now, you know what I'm saying? Right, we've got, we don't need too much news on us. We need to, get the news away from us, chill out, and just focus on our game, as I always say, man. Focus on your game, man. At the end of the day, man, as a football team, I always say, you have the control most of the time. If you score the goals, whatever the referee decision makes afterwards, doesn't matter. Because you've already got the goals there. The referee can make any bogus decision that he wants, but at least you've got the goals there, that you're winning the game, etc., etc. That's why, I always say, never rely on the referee's whistle, because that referee's whistle is always absolutely 110% of the time absolutely bullshit. So it is what it is. Continuing on in that vein of news, we've also got the fact that in regards from Matt Lord, that Chelsea may be forced to sell Ian Maatsen as he has not accepted their last 2 contract offers. So again, with that one, it's not. I really want Ian Maatsen to stay. I don't want to lose him. I'm a big fan of his. You guys know on the channel how much I highly rate Ian Maatsen. I feel like yesterday's game really showed you he has that really great defensive style of play. From me personally, I just think again about the club. Hopefully the club can find some way or form of situation where they can come to an agreement, in my opinion. Obviously you've lost already Lewis Hall to Newcastle. I don't want to be losing Ian Maatsen to another top up player in his position, and I really like the way he plays. So hopefully we don't lose him there. Again, for me, when it comes down to Ian Maatsen, is it maybe the contract offers we're not asking for? Maybe not, but we'll see, man. Hopefully we just provide a better contract deal, and maybe it's a bit more about, maybe what they say about contracts, it's a bit about the negotiation side. As long as you can come to an equitable situation, it is what it is. So hopefully that is the case at the end of the day. So hopefully we can find a nice little happy medium where that situation can be sorted out. So that there is that, of course. Finally, some other news that came out was that Chelsea owners are weighing up taking on more debt under existing loan agreements and could increase their borrowing to more than 250 million as they look to continue spending. So this is not surprising to me in regards to them trying to bring out more loans, trying to raise more money. As you guys know, there's obviously the stadium situation, which we'll go on to in a bit. Obviously, there's some other stuff. I don't know if you guys have also heard, which is in regards to some more breaking news actually, which was that they brought land that is next to Cobham, so they really are planning to increase the actual stadium ground, improving the development and everything of that. So we're probably going to be seeing some more refurbishment, more upgrades to the Cobham Stadium. No, sorry, not Cobham Stadium, the Cobham facility. So we're going to be seeing much more there happening. So it wouldn't be surprise me if we, in the next year or two, find out that Cobham has been expanded, and you're probably also looking at maybe providing better facilities for the women team. Even though I know even though from what I've heard, Chelsea do provide some very good women team facilities, you can always make sure that it's up to even higher and better standard at the end of the day. So that's probably also part of the thing that's going on there when it comes down to Cobham. So again, this idea of borrowing. Obviously, we don't want to get into situations similar to the Glazers where we don't where they just when they put too much debt on the club. We don't want that, of course. That obviously would not be a suitable situation for a team like Chelsea, and we do not definitely want that to happen. But in regards to any other stuff in regards to that, obviously we know I've spoken about Cobham, we've spoken about the stadium, which we'll get into actually a bit later, and there's some other stuff in my opinion as well, which is that we all know here, and I'm pretty sure you know, that obviously there's a multi-club model. We've already bought Strasbourg, as you guys have seen. Sporting Lisbon apparently is the next one on the list. So again, when it comes down to the spending, there's actually many more avenues we've seen there. Obviously, they're trying to buy these up-and-coming youngsters, particularly from the South American market. It seems they've got a very, very, glass eye on that Brazilian, Argentinian, Paraguayan market in particular, obviously, and Ecuadorian, I should say. That market in particular, they're trying to push talent there, trying to compete with the likes of Madrid and Barcelona for those young and up-and-coming top signings there. So, again, it's very competitive right now, what they're trying to do there, but we'll see what happens there. In regards to now the stadium thing, so I think David Ornstein reported that it's looking more and more like that the ownership are maybe thinking about moving away, because apparently moving away from Stamford Bridge, and that they are planning to maybe Earls Court, I'm assuming, is the next viable situation, which is where they're planning to do it maybe. Again, he didn't say it like Earls Court per se, but he's like essentially that's the only other place that we know that they could probably do it from what we've seen so far. But yeah, and I've said this before, you guys know me and my profession. It's going to be very hard, again, I've said this before, to increase that the stadium and what the stuff you want to do with it there. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have heard, the club are like in pole position to buy this 80 million plot of land, which is like where the Chelsea pensioners, like some of the Chelsea pensioners live, which is literally right next to the stadium. And apparently some of the pensioners are now like filing in court to get that disposed, because they don't want that to happen. So again, I'm saying, it's very difficult what the club are trying to do there when it comes to Stamford Bridge at the end of the day. It's a lot of a complicated experience, a lot of stuff that's not going to work. And I've been thinking more and more, what can we do as a club here to sort of alleviate the situation? I know part of it is going to be the situation of the fact that people are going to want to stay at Stamford Bridge. People are going to try to do something about stuff. They don't want to be like, oh, we want to stay there. You've got the pitch owners and everything like that. But at the same time, you're not going to be able to get that top upcoming world class stadium that the club wants as well. So I think maybe a happy medium would be that Stamford Bridge is still kept, but it probably becomes like the women's team stadium. And then you have another stadium where the men's team play. Maybe that, but of course that might be obviously a high cost situation there too. But that might actually do two things there, where you can at least keep the old stadium where the fans will love, and there's a huge amount of sentimentality there. Obviously, with the fact of with a lot of stuff that's happened there. We know obviously that I think Osgood's what's it called I forgot what they called cremations are obviously all around the penalty spot. So obviously there's something there about that too. Obviously the pitch owners own that land. So I think for me, a happy medium there is that you obviously keep the stadium, but you let the women's team Stamford Bridge becomes the women's team stadium, and then you have the other stadium, maybe if you want to build in Earls Court, where the men's teams can play. And then I think from there you have somewhat of a happy medium there for occurring. At the end of the day, when we look at it, and we have to be honest here as fans, so yeah. Look at other teams. Arsenal's been able to move from Highbury. You look at Old Trafford and the way that's deteriorating very vastly. Luckily, we've had Abramovich, and now we've obviously got these new guys who are looking really after the stadium, trying to do as much as they can there. So clearly, they're trying to do. They're making sure the place is upgrading and up to standard. So we don't want that situation happening either. And like the thing is, we're not even in a situation like Liverpool where there's a lot of chances for us to rebuild and make everything bigger and better. So that's the thing. So hopefully we can find that situation to be done, and hopefully there's some sort of happy medium felt over there too. And finally, before we close out, I wanted to talk about Barcelona. Obviously, this is obviously not Chelsea related, but it's Chelsea related. Let me explain. So they actually, the Referees Association and the Barca, I think the Referees Association got raided, and Barca have been charged with bribery of the referees from Spanish referees, and I don't know if UEFA is included, but I don't think they are. So that's some very, very big news. So that means, all of that UEFA, Barcelona, that might actually be true, because they're actually going to be taken to court now. They've already been charged, so that means usually they have to come to court now to start defending themselves from it. So hey man, Barcelona could also be bankrupt too because of this. So we need it to happen, man. We need it. We all need it, man. We need it in our souls, man, because of what Barcelona have done to our football club, man. We all remember that semi-final. That's all I have to say on that one still. But we move. But guys, that's the video, guys. As always, please make sure to like, share, subscribe. As always, you can always come along and help me out with the channel membership. As I've always said before, the latte level. If you want to help me out, get my brother a nice little latte over here. It will always be very, very helpful indeed. But thank you again for watching. I've been your host with the most, the Bridge 258. Catch me tomorrow for the Chelsea versus Fulham preview. And bish, bang, bong. Dedicate your heart and stay blue.